let's get right into the news. Okay. Sorry, that was necessary.
Was it really, Mike?
So this is not so much a last week in gaming as it is a sort of last week, but also really also this coming week in gaming.
Are we future week in gaming now?
No, but it's still last week in gaming because reviews are in.
Oh, okay.
Reviewers have gotten their copies of the PlayStation VR.
Oh, so that's what we're talking about.
That is what we're talking about. We're talking about the PlayStation VR today, and we've been seeing a whole bunch of reviews from Verge to Kotaku to pretty much anybody you can think of. They've all tried it. They've all had their say. Some people like it less. Some people like it more. Some people think it hits the spot just right.
So, but this is very like the Goldilocks syndrome, right?
It's the expectations syndrome, I think, is what the problem is.
You always have to factor in price, quality, how it feels. That sounded so dirty.
I was waiting for that.
It sounded pretty dirty.
I'm sorry.
He's not sorry. Okay, so this year was supposed to be the year that heralds in VR, right?
Yes.
Vive is released. The Rift is released. The PlayStation VR is releasing. Like, this is the year for VR.
Yeah.
Why aren't we hearing more about VR? I mean, we're hearing a lot about VR, but why aren't we hearing more about VR?
What do you mean, why aren't we hearing more about VR? We're hearing a lot about VR.
We're hearing a lot about VR, but we're not hearing that much because there hasn't been a game that really pushes the current VR tech to be able to kind of go, this is the flagship game for VR.
Well,
because
no, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. In my opinion, most VR games that I have seen are just tech demos. And even the Batman VR one was a very shiny and pretty tech demo, but it was a tech demo nonetheless.
True.
So for me, there's nothing that really goes like, oh wow, this looks incredible.
Nothing with like polish, basically.
Exactly. It was more like, okay, this is cool. If I ever have like $1,000 to drop on something.
Well, I showed you guys recently, I think it was this week actually, I showed you guys a game made by Epic, which was Robo Recall.
Yep.
And if you wanted to talk about a polished game, that is definitely a polished game.
Leave it to Epic to make legit games.
Obviously.
Only problem is I don't know if that's going to be for PlayStation 4.
But our argument was whether or not we haven't seen any actual polished games.
That's true. I think the first... Well, no. See, that's where I disagree. I don't think the first polished game that we've seen is that Robo Recall or whatever it's called.
Not the first, but it's one of.
I think that the first polished big game that we've seen is Eve Valkyrie. It's a space simulator of which there have recently been an infinite number of them. But having tested it myself on the PSVR, I can honestly say that it is a fantastic VR, fully immersive experience. And that I think that it's a game that for a headset that is so decently priced like the PlayStation VR is, we're going to see once in a week from now, we're going to see VR really start to kick in motion. Because what PlayStation wanted to do is they wanted to make sure that they didn't just have the most affordable headset on the market, which they do. It is by far the most affordable headset on the market. You can buy a $299 console, buy a $399 headset, and have VR. You do not have to spend $1,500 on a PC. You have fully integrated VR native on the console where the games are all set to play on the console perfectly, right? So we don't have the whole fragmentation thing of PC.
Yeah.
But they have been concentrating their efforts along with Guerrilla Games and CCP Games for Eve Valkyrie on rigs with Guerrilla, right? And they're already preparing themselves to have a solid block of really finished full games for VR. And I think that the consumer market will slowly gravitate towards the console VR before eventually the requirements for VR become much less and a PC for VR becomes much less expensive.
Much more affordable, yeah.
So the thing about the PlayStation VR is everybody's talking about how comfortable it is. When you compare it to the Vive, you've got like that cord thing dangling, and it just feels
Yeah.
really awkward.
Yeah.
I've tried the PSVR. It is weightless. The thing doesn't weigh anything. Okay, I'm going to have it on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
You guys can come try it out anytime you want.
I won't, because I'm going to vomit everywhere.
You may.
I will.
You might not actually. So,
will.
okay. He will. He will.
I tried 2 different types of VR. The Vive and the phone VR.
Just
Both of them
gravel.
make me sick.
Just gravel before, and then just jump
Like
into
a
VR.
little-
Gravel,
patch.
just a little bit of gravel.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
ease yourself into it. Like, don't go and play like a mech shooter. Like,
No, it wasn't even a mech shooter. Actually, I was at work and it was VR porn. Okay? Well, I'll be straight up with you guys. We were in a meeting and this guy brought his headset and we put on porn and oh, stop it, you're interested. And just from the point of view, made me sick. Like, not even moving. I was legit, like, nauseous.
Things were flying everywhere at you.
it's like, this is not my penis!
It is pretty weird, though, to be honest. But, no, even something that's not, like, movement ready. No, everyone's laughing. Hey! Yeah, nice segue into porn VR. But, yeah, I wasn't, like, moving around. I wasn't, like, shaking my head, like, crazy or
Okay.
anything. But, like, just having something on my face and knowing that I can move, but the body's not moving,
Yeah,
makes me sick.
that's another thing. So back to PlayStation VR. Okay, we're talking about something that bridges the gap between an affordable... Basically, it's creating an affordable Vive,
Yeah. Yeah.
essentially, right? You
Yeah.
okay, Alex?
What? Yeah.
You gonna be okay? Yeah.
People behind the camera don't seem fine, though.
They just die in laughter. So basically, what PlayStation is trying to do is creating an affordable Vive, where you have a affordable experience within a 3D space. You have a 3D VR space, so you can actually go down, look around, and stuff. Now, that being said, there have been some people that have been saying that the experience is not seamless. Very often, because the second you leave the frame of the camera, all of a sudden you're no longer in frame.
Yeah.
Which is a disadvantage that you don't have with the Vive, right? So, for example, if you go to pick something up on the floor, your PlayStation Move controller is no longer in the camera, therefore your hand just disappears in the game.
Oh, that's not good.
So it's little things like that
Yeah.
that developers need to take into consideration when
Absolutely.
they're making their game. Not everybody's playing in a clear space with like nothing obstructing their view between
No.
themselves and the TV. They can't just go down and pick something up. You know, a lot of people, like myself, I'm going to be playing on my bed because it's basically, I have a TV on my wall with my consoles and my bed. That's all I've got because it's all the space I have.
Well, then in that case, Mike, why get a VR set in the first place?
Because I want to be able to play VR on my console.
But doesn't that defeat the purpose of having a wide range of motion that you can do
No.
in a game?
No, not at all.
You're sure?
Absolutely. He's like trying to start shit. I can see his face is like, doesn't that completely defeat the purpose? Yep. So I guess it remains to be seen. I'll be doing my review of the PlayStation VR here
Yeah.
on the channel, so stay tuned for that. I'll be doing my review of Eve Valkyrie on the channel as well,
Cool.
so do stay tuned for that. You can make Too Much Sugar your go-to place for VR reviews, and if there are any companies out there that have VR-ready games for PlayStation 4, you can shoot them my way because I'll be able to test them and play them and give you guys a review. Yeah, not him, me.
Yeah. It's so easy, so hard to distinguish both of them.
Yeah, I
Man,
know.
I fucking stuttered there. Wow.
Just-
I'm not drunk, I swear.
Hey guys, thanks for watching that video. If you liked it, you should go check out some more right over here. If you like the cap I'm wearing, or you want to see what other TMS swag you can pick up, you should check out Manson's clothing down below. And last but not least, if you like free games, because everybody does, you should check out Gamers Giveaway down below, and they give a free game away every single week, so check that out. Thanks for watching again, have a great one guys.